All right, for more than 40 years, New York Daily News-syndicated columnist Mike Lupica has covered just about every sport. He's also authored 22 sports-themed novels for young adults. 13 became New York Times bestsellers. He sold 5 million copies of his books, and The Extra Yard is his newest novel about an 8th-grade boy who deals with challenges on and off the football field. The book is published by Simon & Schuster, a division of CBS. Mike Lupica, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you here. What happened to those other 8 or 9 books? I'm just kidding.
Really?
So we have
football here.
We have the playoffs.
Yeah.
We have Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Well, the funny thing is you always hear about Brady versus Manning. I've always thought about it as Manning versus Bill Belichick because they're not guarding each other. It's not like they're in the low post in basketball. It's interesting to me watching Peyton play now and to go to another sport. It's like somebody who was a great fastball pitcher in baseball, and now he's kind of throwing melons and cantaloupes, and he clearly can't throw the ball, and he's getting by on guile. And he's the only advantage they have on Sunday, I think, is that the game is in Denver instead of Foxborough.
How about their defense?
Oh, no, the Broncos' defense, I believe, has been the most formidable in the sport this year. And we saw what happened when Brock Osweiler was the quarterback against the Patriots before. And the Denver Broncos defense beat Brady. It's hard to do that twice in the same year.
Well, so you're predicting the Patriots?
I do. Only for my own twisted amusement. Right. Because the Patriots make everybody so crazy outside of like a 6-state area in New England. So they are always being accused of something, and I just love the fact that it makes most of the country this mad.
Well, your twisted amusement is very fun to watch. Your latest column about the NFL coin toss.
Oh, God,
you are
it's
not
the
a fan.
dumbest thing in sports.
Because?
$1 billion industry, the biggest we've ever had in sports in this country, often comes down to a flip of the coin. You tell me another place in sports, and then they don't even use a real coin.
And then the question whether it's really flipped or not, as we had this past weekend.
All I know is that you can make a case that Aaron Rodgers might be the best player in football. And 2 years in a row, because of a coin flip, he never gets to touch the ball in overtime.
Right.
That's a boneheaded system.
Right. What would you replace it with?
In the regular season, Charlie, I see why they have to keep the line moving for television. Play until the game is resolved. Certainly play an extra quarter. Where do they have to be? Nowhere.
Let's talk about your new book, of course, The Extra Yard. It's about
first of all, look at the dedication to Esther Newberg, your agent.
Literary agent to the stars and me.
It's about an 8th grader, Teddy. What are some of the underlying themes in this book?
No, Nora, I got into this world because one year I took all the kids who got cut in my town and started a team of my own and gave them a chance to get back up. And I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, my wife now says in retrospect, honey, you writing from inside the mind of a 12-year-old seems like pretty much a perfect fit as far as I can tell. But if you start reading my books, you know I'm going to ask my main character to overcome something. Teddy in this book has grown up without a father because of divorce. His father's lived on the other side of the country. And you would think that he would be thrilled when his father comes back east and comes back into his life. It's not that easy. And this is a book that kind of tips the whole father-son and sports thing.
Because you coached all your kids.
I try not to screw them up. But let me tell you something. These books are written in that spirit. There's not a time, nor when I go by a field or a gym where I coached and wouldn't give $1 bazillion to have one more Friday night or Saturday afternoon back.
But who's the audience for your books?
Oh, it starts in middle grade. We go from like 8 to 15. And the great thing is once I get them, they stay with me. I was telling Gail before the show today, I'll be out in public now, and I'll see somebody who I know is a mom coming towards me. And I know they're not going to want to talk about my dopey newspaper column or TV. They're going to tell me a story about how I got their kids to want to read. And then they'll say, you probably get tired of hearing that. And I'll say, no, actually not.
But Mike, what's so good about the books is that in this particular book, you have boys talking to each other. You never see about boys talking to each other about their problems and their vulnerabilities. And I think that's such an important message to send to young boys.
you know, I have 3 sons, and they were like that. I mean, our dinner table was, you know, it sometimes sounded like a counseling session. And people always say, oh, the kids in your book sound real. And I think they ought to, because it came out of the back seat of my car, our dinner table, sidelines, and locker rooms.
Do you want your kids to play football?
Man, I'll tell you what, Charlie, I would have to think long and hard about them. Unfortunately, my sons were all pacifists, and one of them played 1 year of middle grade football.
They played chess.
And his mother said it was great
chess
because
players.
his uniform actually never got dirty. She never actually had to wash it. He'd just wait till there was a pile.
Bottom line, you have reservations about them playing.
With the cognitive difficulties of ex-players, how can you not?
Thank you, Mike. Great to have you.
Mike Lupica, thank you.
Shall we mention the book one more time?
Yes.
It's called The Extra Yard. It's on sale now.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you
very
so much for having me.
Congrats is right.